How's it going, YouTube? I'm Ari and welcome to Blue Lion Finance, a channel solely dedicated to investing in my personal journey to amassing $100,000 within my Vanguard brokerage account. Now, as of today, that account is sitting at $73,817.72. It is down by a staggering $1,233.81. Now, I'm sitting here asking myself, what the heck is going on? Because that is not your typical loss, at least in a span of one day. Now, what I'll share with you is I've narrowed it down to just about three things. The first of which we could have seen coming for a long time now. I've been reporting on it each and every one of my videos throughout the past couple of weeks. That is, COVID cases have been on the rise. Now, with COVID cases on the rise, hospitals are once again becoming overwhelmed, which is certainly creating a ton of fear and uncertainty once again in the markets. Now, history certainly repeats itself, so why aren't we learning our lesson when it comes to COVID? Now, next up we have China. China has reported slowed economic activity, which means that the loss of momentum in their economic growth is certainly a key indicator for the United States that very well just may happen here at home as well. And last but not least, here we have the fall of Afghanistan to the hands of the Taliban. Now, that is very alarming. We do not yet know how that will impact the world on a global scale. However, all of which is certainly spooking the market, creating a ton of fear, a ton of uncertainty. The market does not react well to uncertainty, and there you have it. We have stocks in the red zone. Now, with that being said, as an investor that is investing in quality companies and doing so for the long run, it does not alarm me whatsoever. I'm actually doubling down on investing because this is the perfect opportunity to buy stocks on sale, which leads me to today's video, in which I'm going to be talking about two high quality REITs that you can get invested in right now today that are, well, fair value, but most importantly have a ton of growth ahead of them. They're relatively young REITs, so certainly a video you will not want to miss out on. Just before we actually dive in, go ahead, tap on that thumbs up button for me, as it greatly helps me out in growing the Blue Lion Finance channel. And most importantly, I want each and every one of you along for this journey with me. So go ahead, tap on that subscribe button while you're at it. Not to mention, Blue Lion Finance has a giveaway underway as we speak, in which one lucky winner, the moment this channel crosses the 1,000 subscriber mark, will be sent a One Hope Wines $50 gift card. So make sure you take advantage of that as well. Now, YouTube, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right to it. So for all of you tried and true Blue Lion Finance followers, you'll probably have noticed that Realty Income, ticker symbol O, is my all-time favorite REIT to invest in. I talk about them in a vast majority of my videos, but in today's video, I'm going to be talking about two much younger REITs that have a ton of firepower behind them come the next 2 to 5 to 10 years. So certainly REITs I'm going to be dollar cost averaging my way into. So let's get right to it here and talking about the first REIT, that is Store Capital, ticker symbol STOR. Now, Store was founded back in 2011. Since their founding, they have been doing an outstanding job in growing a very well-diversified portfolio, but more importantly, they have become a leader in the industry when it comes to net lease solutions. What exactly is a net lease solution? Well, it's when a landlord actually rents out a property to a tenant, and that tenant is not just responsible for rent, but they are responsible for all associated costs to that property. So just think about that for a second. Let's say you rent out an apartment or a house, and the tenant that you're leasing it out to actually has to not only pay you rent, but anytime something actually happens to that property, they're covering the cost. So if you are the landlord, that is literally the best win you can ever think of. And if you are a tenant, I have no idea why you would agree to enter into that lease. But nonetheless, here we are. Store Capital is absolutely crushing it when it comes to net lease solutions, so much so that even Mr. Warren Buffett himself, a man who typically strays away from investing in real estate, has invested in real estate thanks to Store Capital. So he has thrown in $377 million, which is about a 9.8% stake of all the shares outstanding. Now, as an investor, that should certainly deliver you a lot of confidence, but I want to talk more about their portfolio. As of right now, they have 2,587 properties spanning across the United States. More importantly, they have 511 different tenants. Now, all of their tenants are actually more service oriented. That means you can think about restaurants, educational facilities, healthcare clinics, fitness centers. These types of businesses are businesses that, while even during COVID may have been hit pretty hard, they have certainly recovered and people want to go back out to them. So again, fitness centers and restaurants, they're gonna be around for a long time coming. And when it comes to Store Capital's latest earnings report, they've reported that they brought in $191.34 million worth of revenue. That is up by 13.7% year over year. And when it comes to their net income, brought in $62.43 million, which is up roughly by $7.4 million from the previous quarter. And while yes, Store Capital was certainly hit hard during 2020, they have recovered nicely. They are currently trading for around $35 per share, but the best news yet is that analysts are reporting that there is that room for growth for Store Capital, with the median share price being listed at $38 per share and a high share price of $42 per share. So jumping in right now, you could take advantage of that growth, kick back and relax and collect on those dividends, because Store Capital is also a massive dividend player with a nice dividend yield sitting at 3.99%. Now currently I only own 5 total shares of Store Capital, but I'm certainly going to be dollar cost averaging my way in, growing this position with the next milestone share count at 25 shares of Store Capital. Now the next REIT I want to talk about is Stag Industrial. It's ticker symbol STAG. Now Stag Industrial was founded 11 years ago, so back in 2010. Another young REIT that has done an outstanding job in terms of growth and a lot of firepower behind it for years to come. Stag Industrial was initially founded as a small cap industrial warehousing REIT, and here we are just 11 years later. Stag Industrial has a squeaky clean balance sheet from where it started off with a lot of debt. It is now a large cap player, and that is incredibly impressive. They have grown their portfolio to 492 properties spanning across the United States. What's even more impressive are some of the tenants of Stag Industrial. We got Amazon, so right there, just imagine being Jeff Bezos's landlord.
Oh, how the tables have certainly turned.
If you are the landlord to Jeff Bezos. Now that is something that I would certainly like to be a part of, and that is exactly why I'm invested in Stag Industrial. But not only that, they have tenants like FedEx, Costco, Ford, and a couple other big names behind them, so certainly giving me a lot of confidence to continue to invest in Stag Industrials. But getting right into the numbers, Stag Industrial reported $138.43 million worth of revenue, which is up by 17.69% year over year, with their net income coming in at $32.65 million, up by $7.7 million from their last quarter in Q1. All fantastic news, and even better news is their CEO, Mr. Ben Butcher's words on their dividend. Now their current dividend yield is sitting at 3.46%, but Ben mentioned that they're going to double down on making sure that that dividend continues to grow, just as well as their actual portfolio is going to continue to grow, which as an investor makes me very excited. Now not only that, analysts are expecting their actual stock price to rise, with a median share price being listed at $44.50 and a high share price of $50. So certainly a stock that you want to get invested in right now, not only taking advantage of the dividend, but of course the growth that lies ahead. As of right now, I hold 3 total shares of Stag Industrial, but very similarly to Store Capital, I want to pump that number up to 25 total shares of Stag Industrial as my next milestone. And there you have it, YouTube, the 3 REITs within my portfolio being Realty Income, Store Capital, and Stag Industrial, all REITs that I certainly stand by and have positions with each of them, and I'm only going to continue to dollar cost average my way into growing greater positions with all of them. Now, I personally am not a financial advisor, so just make sure if you are interested in investing in any of these REITs, you do your own due diligence. Never just listen to some random YouTuber and then throw your money into these REITs because someone said to do so. You have to understand what you're investing in, and you have to make sure it makes sense for your own personal portfolio. Now, with that being said, if you've liked what you heard, you learned something new, go ahead, drop comments below. I'd absolutely love to know your thoughts. Most importantly, go ahead, tap on that thumbs up button for me, help me grow the Blue Lion Finance finance channel and get the word out there. Go ahead, tap on that subscribe button while you're at it. I would love to have you along this journey with me. Now YouTube, until the next video, I will see you all there.